Good morning. This is Fellowship of Spirit coming to you from Farmington, New Mexico. And my name is Ron Holloway, and I will be your moderator for the day. Susan Barnes will be praying for us to be open up. Shay Johnson is going to play our music. I'm going to read a spiritual reading. And Mark Wolf from Kentucky is going to be giving us our message. Today is the first day of September already. Just seemed like it was New Year's the other day, last week. But I heard somebody say the other day that the days are long, but the years are really quick. That makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know. Anyway, all right, so here we go. We are ready for our prelude. We think that we have our audio configuration problems solved. If there are anything, let me know immediately. Don, Neva, let me know if you're not hearing the instrument, because it's important that we do. We think we have it fixed, but let us know if it's not. Okay? Are you not going to do so? For the prelude, she's going to just do it. She's going to do it a cappella, which means with no instrument. So here we go. It's deep peace of the rolling waves to you, on you, to you. Okay.
Peace, may peace keep you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Shay. Wonderful. All right. So now we're going to have Susan to pray for us. Susan Barnes from Belize.
Right. Can you hear me, Ron?
We can.
And so, good morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful day, and we expect wonderful miracles to happen to us in every way. So let's close our eyes, take a deep breath, and just feel that loving God energy flowing through each and every cell, each and every molecule of your body. Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for this day, for all that you have offered to us. We give thanks for the ability to be here together, whether it be through the Zoom or in person, because there is no distance, there is no space. And let us know that we are all one together in love, cooperation, and community. That we reside together, walking forward and being a light to others. Creator, we do give thanks for all the things that we have in our lives, our health, all of the wonderful nutrition that you give us, not only in the way of food, but in our positive, loving thoughts, in the sun that you shine upon us, the rain that blesses the ground, our connection with not just the Father, but with the Mother, being nurtured and having us strengthened in every way. And so now, today, we go forward knowing that the message will empower us to be strengthened, to be better people, more loving, and to be that true light of yours. And so we say this, Namaste.
Okay, thank you, Susan. Okay, now we have another song by Shay Johnson, and the name of it is Prayer for Protection. All right, thank you, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so take a moment and repeat after me. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. Okay, so now we're going to have a spiritual reading. It's going to come out of Eckhart Tolle. Let's see what it is. Okay. The physical organism, your body, has its own intelligence, as does the organism of every other life form. And that intelligence reacts to what your mind is saying, reacts to your thoughts. So emotion is the body's reaction to your mind. The body's intelligence is, of course, an inseparable part of universal intelligence. Of course, an inseparable part of universal intelligence, one of its countless manifestations. It gives temporary cohesion to the atoms and molecules that make up your physical organism. It is the organizing principle behind the workings of all the organs of the body, the conversion of oxygen and food into energy, the heartbeat and circulation of the blood, the immune system that protects the body from invaders, The translation of sensory input into nerve impulses that are sent to the brain, decoded there and reassembled into a coherent inner picture of outer reality. All these, as well as thousands of other simultaneously occurring functions, are coordinated perfectly by that intelligence. You don't run your own body, the intelligence does. It also is in charge of the organism's responses to its environment. This is true for any life form. It is the same intelligence that brought the plant into physical form, then manifests it as the flower that comes out of the plant. The flower that opens its petals in the morning to receive the rays of the sun and closes them at nighttime. It is the same intelligence that manifests as Gaia, the complex living being that is planet Earth. The intelligence gives rise to instinctive reactions of the organism to any threat or challenge. It produces responses in animals that appear to be akin to human emotions: anger, fear, pleasure. These instinctive responses could be considered primordial forms of emotion. In certain situations, human beings experience instinctive responses in the same way that animals do. In the face of danger, when the survival of the organism is threatened, the heart beats faster, the muscles contract, breathing becomes rapid in preparation for fight or flight. Primordial fear. When being cornered, a sudden flare-up of intense energy gives strength to the body that it didn't have before. Primordial anger, those instincts responses appear akin to emotions, but are not emotions in the true sense of the word. The fundamental difference between an instinctive response and an emotional is this. An instinctive response is the body's direct response to some external situation, or emotion, on the other hand, as the body's response to as a thought. Indirectly, emotion can also be a response to an actual situation or event, but it will be a response to the event seen through the filter of a mental interpretation. The filter of thought, that is to say, through the mental concepts of good and bad, like and dislike, me and mine. For example, it is likely you won't feel any emotion when you are told that someone's car has been stolen. But when it is your car, you will probably feel upset. It is amazing how much emotion a little mental concept like my can generate. Although the body is very intelligent, it cannot tell the difference between an actual situation and a thought. It reacts to every thought as if it were a reality. It doesn't know it is just a thought. To the body, a worrisome, fearful thought means I am in danger, and it responds accordingly, even though you may be lying in a warm and comfortable bed at night. The heart beats faster, muscles contract, and breathing becomes rapid. There is a buildup of energy, but since the danger is only a mental fiction, the energy has no outlet. Part of it is fed back to the mind and generates even more anxious thought. The rest of the energy turns in toxic and interferes with the harmonious functions of the body. Yeah, this kind of goes right along. We are reading in our book study group, The Power of Intention by Wayne Dyer. And so we read some things today that kind of dealt with those things, but it's all, everything that is, these are all possible blocks to spiritual awareness. That is what, that's where our peace comes from. It's where our strength comes from, and where our serenity lives. And so that was a pretty good reading. Thank you. Okay. So we have another one. Peace, wonderful peace. I don't have the numbers. Number 201 in the Brown Book. Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. You have a beautiful voice. Really enjoy. You make such an addition to our week. Mark Wolf lives in Kentucky, close by Ohio. Is that right? And we miss him, but we get to talk to him once a month and see his beautiful face. But we are hoping that at some point he'll come back and visit us. But so far, we just get to see him virtually, and I guess that's what we're just going to have to put up with. But we always get to give him a venue to share his wisdom and his experience with us. So let us welcome Mark Wolf.
Hey, is that my cue?
That's your cue. You're on, bud.
All right. Well, here it is then. Good morning, everybody. Again, good morning. Hey, I am, as always, happy to be here with all of you. Hey, listen. Somebody said it was September. Is that true? Labor Day weekend? Didn't see that coming, right? Listen, up here in northern Kentucky, where we are just south of Cincinnati, I have maple trees that have been turning red for the last 2 weeks. And I told them, no, not yet, no, not yet. It's so easy to get focused on work and errands and bills and kids and homework, that the seasons just turn to a blur as they sprint past. But I think that we can address some of that mad dash of the months this morning and here in a few minutes. Now, speaking of the mad dash of the months, when we met together a couple of months ago on 4th of July weekend, we talked at some length about the power of the I am, the inner I am, the power, the real power of God within us, and what that means, the creative power of nothing less than the power of miracles, right? The power actually delegated to us by the Creator, the power to fulfill our purpose for being here on the earth in the first place. And I gave you some homework. Speaking of homework, I gave you homework. Now, I wonder who's been doing their homework. So I'm going to suggest that you take another look at that Sunday message on YouTube from July. It's been surprisingly popular on YouTube because today we're going to take it a step further. Now, what was your homework assignment? I presented to you a very, very powerful affirmation. I gave it to you exactly the way that it was given to me. And I said, use this first thing in the morning, every morning, and watch your life change. Now, again, here is that affirmation. I am the I am, and the power of miracles flows through me. It is the power delegated to me by God. I am the I am. Now, what does that even mean? It means that the consciousness within me has authority over my physical body. Okay? And I said that you should use that affirmation first thing in the morning, but sometimes you're just not feeling it, you know? What then? You know, I don't know. I just don't feel it this morning. Oh, I'll do it later. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. I'm still too sleepy. Where's the coffee? We'll do it. And if that's what you hear in the morning in your head, that's great, because now you have a very special opportunity to connect to consciousness. Because listen, this is news. All right? Your body's not the boss. Who knew? You know, your body's not the boss of you. Now you start to be my age, and your body starts to get a vote. So you know we are not going to jump out of that airplane. But consciousness is the boss. All right. And when consciousness says we're going to do the affirmation, then we're going to do it. Period. Body does not get to decide. Now, we get used to taking care of our bodies, and that's appropriate. We need to do that. And we even say, I'm hungry. I'm tired. I need to sit down for a minute. I'm hot. Well, I'm cold. I need some water. Well, I need some coffee, you know, and we get used to saying this, and we need to take good and loving care of our bodies. We really do. But listen, our bodies are clothes. All right. Our bodies are the clothing that we wear in order to be in this world. It's like this, you know, you want to be in the world, you want to go out in the world, you put your clothes on. All right. I know it's a gripe. I get that. But you put your clothes on if you're going to go be in the world. And our bodies are the clothing of our spirit. Our bodies are the shirt and the shoes and the pants of the I am. Right? And your shoes don't get to decide where you go. They really don't, you know. No, listen, I'm going to tell you this. Imagine for a second, you know, there's this lady upstairs and she, you know, she hears a noise. Wait a minute. What was that? There it is again. I think there's somebody in the house. And so she calls 911. She says, 911, help. I think there's an intruder in my house. And so the police come, there's this guy in the house, and the police say, dude, what are you doing in here? And they say, well, you know, I don't know. I was just walking along the street, minding my business in my shoes. My shoes decided that we're going to go in there, you know, and here we are, you know, and what kind of defense is that going to be? My shoes, lock them up. They can't be trusted. But we do this, you know, and we forget that our bodies really do not get to decide. We decide, you know, and if your body gets a vote, because, you know, sometimes you're thinking about, you know, if I get down there on the floor, am I going to be able to get back up? You know, but you can decide, but your body does not get a vote. And so if your body wants to tell you, oh, I can't do affirmations right now, I don't wanna. Okay, you have a perfect opportunity. All right, you have a perfect opportunity to shift your awareness from your body and onto the inner I am, the authority of consciousness, and assert the authority of the I am right there where you live. You know, in a very real sense, you have an opportunity to connect to the I am and to activate its authority over your life and over your experience right then and there. And activating that inner I am is really where we're going to take this morning. You can feel the power. You can feel it. Okay. If you get quiet, you can feel it because it's real. Okay. It's real. I've told you this so many times before, not just a good thought. Not just a good idea, not pie in the sky someday, not unicorns and fairy dust. It's real. The power is real because it serves a real purpose. The purpose is that we would become like God. To become like God is the reason for our being here. And to provide us a place where we could become like God was the original intent of the creation. So we need to fulfill our purpose. Now, we can fulfill our purpose by stumbling around in the dark for centuries, like we've been doing. Or we can use the energy and the consciousness uniquely available to us today, right now, and get the job done. Not just for ourselves, but also to heal and elevate and bless the entire world. Now, this is something to get excited about. It really is. I am the I am. The power of miracles flows through me. It is the power delegated to me by God so that I may become like God. In this consciousness, my words of intent have life and vitality and power and authority. This is the power to give instructions to the conditions and circumstances and appearances in our lives. Because listen, the conditions, the appearances, the circumstances, the stuff in our lives, even the dirt that we walk on, they're all waiting for instructions from us. And we have the authority. It is the authority delegated to us by God. And when we use this divine authority to create and to manifest our desires through the power of our word, we are becoming like God by becoming creators of our own world, responsible for our own happiness, creating our own universe. I mean, this is why this is so exciting. But listen, there is another side to this coin of consciousness, all right? There is another part of the equation. So let me explain. Let's go there together. The power of the I am is the power and the presence of God reflected, is the power and the presence of God reflected into each and every one of us. And it's real. Creating through the power of our word is part of becoming like God. But, okay, you knew that was coming, right? But when we create for ourselves, we are receiving for ourselves. And listen, there's a funny thing about receiving, all right? Because receiving is something that God cannot do. I mean, did you ever think there's something that God can't do? But receiving is something that God is not able to do because God only shares, all right? But what about our thanks and praise? Doesn't God receive our thanks and praise? No. Sorry, but no. Our thanks and praise nurture and strengthen our connection to the light of the Creator. But our thanks and praise do not change the nature of the Creator, which is only to share. You see, God is all there is. Okay, we really need to get our heads around this. God is all there is. Whether stuff is acting like it or not, God is all there is. There's nothing but God. The bottom line, there's nothing but God. There's nothing for God to receive. Because whatever we might want to give, God already has. I mean, talk about somebody that's hard to shop for Christmas, I've already got one of those. So this is a question, this is a question that was addressed in a very wonderful and insightful way by the rabbi. The rabbi from Nazareth, and there are this story, there are sermons and nearly endless commentary about this story because it's so amazing. But today I want to present it in what I hope is a brand new way. Now, the story is told in the Gospels of Matthew and Mark and Luke, almost verbatim, which is unusual. So let's look at Matthew. We are in Matthew chapter 19, starting in verse 16. And behold, a man came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And the rabbi said unto him, If you will enter into eternal life, Keep the commandments. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Love your neighbor as yourself. Honor your father and mother. And the young man said unto him, All these things I've kept from my youth up. What else do I need? Now, let me interject something. Here. The conversation between the rabbi and the young man is actually itself a commentary on a passage in the Bible in the book of Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 6. Okay, and the backstory is that the children of Israel are about to enter the promised land finally. And Moses, in the final speech of Moses warns them that they have to keep the commandments and the laws. In other words, whether you're going to go live in the promised land, but whether you continue to live in the promised land or not is really dependent on whether you keep the commandments or not. You know, simple formula. You want to live here? These are the rules. Okay, you want to live in the house? These are the house rules. You're going to live here, you follow the rules. You don't want to follow the rules, you can't live here. And this is how they respond to Moses. And this is verse 25. It says, being careful to observe and keep all these commandments before the Lord shall be our righteousness. And so when the young man says to the rabbi, all these things have I kept from my youth, he's referring to this verse in Deuteronomy that keeping the commandments shall be our righteousness. Now, the rabbi adds something unexpected. In verse 21, he says, if you want eternal life, go and sell what you have and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven. Then come and follow me. But when the young man heard these words, he went away sorrowful because he was very rich. Okay? Sermons and nearly endless commentary on this. But what is it really saying to us? Okay? So, are we supposed to go and sell our stuff? You know, we're going to have a giant yard sale and list it on eBay and Craigslist. We're going to get rid of all our stuff and give the money to the poor. And then what? Now we're poor ourselves. Say, hey, why are you living under the bridge? Well, you know, I sold all my stuff. I put it on eBay and I sold all my stuff and I gave all the money to the poor. So, okay. Well, that's amazing. I mean, you know, that really is. But now you're poor too. And this is a really amazing gesture. I mean, seriously. But the poor are still poor, and now so are you. So how does that really help? You see, listen, we do not become like God by making ourselves poor and destitute and needy. That's not what God is about. When God is the giver of all good gifts and graces, and I'm going to become like God by becoming poor and needy? No, it just doesn't work that way. When the rabbi told the young man to go and sell his possessions and give the money to the poor, the message is really very simple if you step back and look at it. It's very simple. He says, share what you got. Okay? Nothing more complicated than that. Share what you have. You've been blessed in some really amazing ways. You know, now share what you have in order to become an amazing blessing to others. And the young man was sad. And why was he sad? Because he had great possessions. And listen, how can we say that we love our neighbor like ourselves if we're unwilling to share a portion of what we've received? You know, listen, our world, all right, this world we live in is an upside down world in so many ways. My teacher in the Kabbalah, the Rav Berg, used to say that in this world, we have to receive. We got no choice. We have to receive air constantly all day. You don't receive air, you don't go on. We have to receive food. We have to receive water. We have to receive warmth and protection. We have to receive some guidance so we don't try to cross 20th Street at the wrong time, you know? We have to receive. But every action of receiving makes us unlike God. So we have a dilemma because God does not receive. God only gives. And so to become like God, we have to share a portion of what we receive. Very simple formula for what really should be a very joyful process. Now, listen, it is appropriate to say, I need this much. Okay. This much is for me. I need this much for myself and my family. Okay. Because it's not about giving everything away and living in poverty. It's about sharing what we have. We say, this much is what I need for my family and myself. So this much is to share. Because remember, the rabbi told the young man, says, okay, so you kept the commandments. Well, that's great. That's amazing. Go you. But now go and share your blessings. Go share your blessings. Then, and only then, can you come and follow me. Now, let's pause for a minute and receive some air and return to our original idea. Original idea. I am the I am. We need to elevate our consciousness about this statement. We need to take our awareness of this to the next level. We need to activate, like I said, we need to activate the I am power. I am the I am. The power of miracles flows through me. It is the power delegated to me by God so that I may become like God, the creator of my own world and my own universe. So, in order to activate our awareness of the power of the I am, in order to take the power to its next level, it has to become a power of sharing. It has to, okay? This is the other side of that coin of consciousness. Yes, this is the power delegated to us by God. It is so that we could become like God, creating our own world and our own universe, responsible for our own happiness. But to become like God, we also have to become people who share our blessings in our world and share the miracles in our universe. It's like the rabbi said, okay, so you kept the commandments. Amazing, that's great. But it's not enough. You go share your blessings. Then you can follow me. Now, we have many blessings. We do. We really do. Like Susan said, we have many blessings. We have food to eat. We have a place to live. We got to have some money in the bank. We have air to breathe. We have a beautiful late summer day. And far more than that. Much to be thankful for. But I've come to realize that the greatest blessing that we can receive, the greatest blessing that we have, rather, the greatest blessing we have is to have a consciousness that creates and manifests miracles. That's our greatest blessing. And that's what we're waking up to right now. It's so exciting. Now, we can give money to help the poor, all right? And we can support the food bank and we can support the homeless shelter, and all of that is appropriate because all of that is sharing. And it's good. But the greatest blessing of all is the consciousness of miracles. So, how shall we share that consciousness? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to give you some homework. All right, you got some homework. You got some homework so that you can take your awareness to its next level. Okay, listen. I am the I am. The power of miracles flows through me. It is the power delegated to me by God. This power flows through me to heal and elevate and bless every person and place I encounter today. Okay? Heal, elevate, and bless. This power flows through me to heal, elevate, and bless every person and place I encounter today. Just be a channel. Just be a pipeline of light to heal, elevate, and bless. Your very presence then becomes someone's miracle. Because your very presence then becomes an act of sharing. Now, does that mean that we don't need to contribute to the poor and needy? No, not at all. And this is, in other words, this is not an easy substitute for to take the place of tangible sharing. It's not like that. This is taking the power, the awareness of the power and authority within us to a new level, activating the power of the I am. And it is not an excuse for being rude in the world. So I can be rude and demanding, goes, well, I'm a channel of light and healing. I said, no, you're not. No. You're not a channel, you're not being a channel of healing and blessing when you're being a jerk. All right. So be kind and be patient, because people are hurting and people are frightened, especially right now. But if you want to kick the power of miracles up to a higher level, then share it everywhere with everyone by allowing yourself to be a channel for healing, elevation, and blessing. Because the power is real. The power is real. The question is, how will you use it? Now, I'll tell you something important. This is important. The power is real. The authority is real, but it is also self-correcting. In other words, it has an autocorrect built into it. Okay? And this built-in autocorrect works in several different ways, but one way is that if the power of miracles is used selfishly, it will burn out. Okay? See, if you're trying to connect it to the power, but you're being unkind to other people, you're not loving your neighbor. All right, then it's like just flipping the circuit breaker off. But if you're trying to use the power of miracles in a selfish way, it's like not paying your power bill. Okay, because the power company shut off your power. Okay, because the way we pay our power bill is by sharing the light with others. And if you're not sharing the light, you're not paying your power bill, and the power company will shut you off. All right, there's the caveat. So what's our homework? Use this affirmation, especially in the morning, and most especially when your body is not in the mood to do it. That's your opportunity to connect to the consciousness and let your shoes know they don't get a vote in what we're going to do right now. I am the I am. The power of miracles flows through me. It is the power delegated to me so that I may become like God. Use that faithfully and watch your life change. Then add to that. This power flows through me to heal, elevate, and bless every person and place I encounter today. All right? Use that faithfully and watch the people around you change. Because the power is real. Now, question is just what are you going to do with it? Okay, so I said at the beginning that of our time together that we would address this mad dash of time, this sprint of seasons, and the way the years just spin past. I think faster every year. Listen, here's the thing. The power within us, the power within you, all right? This power delegated to us by God. This power has authority over the passage of time. Okay? The power of God is authority over time. And as more and more people wake up to the presence of God and the power of miracles that has been delegated to us, and more people wake up to this, and then when enough of us are awake, and I don't know how many that is, all right, but it's enough of us, and it doesn't have to be everybody, but when enough of us are awake, then the power of miracles will be enough to assert its authority over time. And then no one will ever grow old again. And no one will ever have to go away and die. But it starts with us today. The power is real. The question is, what will we do with it? Ron, back to you.
Oh, wow, what a great talk. That was wonderful, Mark. And it went so well with my reading, didn't it? It's amazing. It always amazes me that everything that we do in a day, it is all coordinated, even though it was not planned at all. And that's a miracle in itself, but the continuity of the information just expands on out. Does anyone here like to say something to Mark? Come forward, please.
Well, I would.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Susan.
You were talking about the synchronicity, and I'm listening to Mark, and of course listening to your spiritual reading, and I'm going, wait a minute, I think God's talking to us. I mean, and not yelling. Somebody better take notice, because when it's this synchronistic, we have to know that it's something very, very powerful and that we need to be listening to. So thank you, Ron. Thank you, Mark. I am so glad to have heard God speak through you.
That's the TV.
Yeah.
We need a new cord.
No, we don't need to do cord. We need to stop messing. Okay. There you go. All right, you ready?
There's Jerry.
Okay.
Hear me?
No.
Can you now?
Yes.
Can't hear you.
I don't think so.
Jerry, holler at me. Ron, you're muted.
Now we are. Okay, go.
You can hear me now.
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you for the continuation of our thought that is going along with our power of intention reading that we're doing in the book. And I had forgotten about the affirmation from July 4th, but the one today ties right in with that. And, you know, you're right. Our shoes don't tell us what to do. Our bodies don't tell us what to do. We are in charge of that. Our consciousness is. And it's so much easier to get myself to do things when I remind myself that I'm in charge, not the body, not the, I need the coffee, I need to do this, I need to do that. And so I just wanted to thank you very much for helping me remember to put my thoughts where they need to be, especially in the morning when I first get up, instead of start thinking about the 13 things I'm going to do. So thank you very much. This was so much appreciated, and I love you.
Love you too.
Anyone else? I always like to say this is our spacesuit, you know, so that we can be on this planet. Our bodies are our spacesuit.
Very much.
Okay. Anyone else? All right. Well, thank you, Mark. It was wonderful. We wish you could be here to take our potluck today.
Yeah, me too.
We wish you were here. Anyway, we hope that your week goes long, and you know, it's kind of neat that Susan was saying that that their Labor Day comes in the springtime. I think they don't have seasons. We have seasons, and we've had the summertime is when we labor a lot. And I think that our Labor Day comes toward the end of summer when we've been laboring, so that we could have a little extra day of rest, and we need it. And so I hope that you're able to rest tomorrow and be ready to go on Tuesday.
Works for me.
Okay, thanks a lot, everybody. All right. Okay, so now we are going to have another little song from Shay. How can I keep from singing? Thank you, Shay. Thank you so much. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so now it's time for our celebration of abundance. I want to acknowledge Steve and Kate and Linda Crone and Don and Neva are here with us today on Zoom. Wish you were here with us, but we're glad that you are here with us in Zoom. So thank you for coming. Put over your heart that which you intend to contribute and repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive through infinity. I am prosperous. So are we going to have the children today? They're going to be here in just a moment. Okay, great. That'll be good. Oh, yeah. It's not near as awkward, is it? It's really good.
Email here,
Right.
and we sent out a constant contact, and I had one lady. It took about 8 books, but she did come and take some books. We're gonna try it again, in a couple of weeks, and then again, in October. But if we don't get most of these books gone in October, then and if we don't, then I'm going to talk to the library about donating them to them for their book sale, which they do. I can't remember when, it's either in the spring or the fall. So. Anyway, if you know anybody that would like books, even if you want to come at another time, I can meet you here. But we would love to give some of these books away. We have so many different subjects of books that is just amazing. So there's probably 600 books here in the pews right now.
We have
So-
4 or 5 pews that are just full of books.
Full of books, that's right. So please, come.
Okay, so, okay, children. Up. We still here? Mark, can you
Yep.
just say something?
Whatever it is, there's no audio.
Can you hear now, Mark? Go ahead and speak. You cannot hear?
No.
This thing is adjusting itself is what's happening. Uh, Try it again. You cannot hear her? Try it again. What is the peace of God? Cannot hear her. Well, okay, just go ahead and
Yeah.
go ahead.
Mark on a journey.
Thank you. Is that it? Yeah, looks like you guys got a lot of work done today. That's great. Thank you, kids. Yeah. All right. Can you hear me, Mark?
Yes.
You can hear me
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Can. Good. Okay. All right. So now it's time for Bill Clark to come forward and give us some more wisdom.
Well, that's a tall challenge following Mark Wolf. He's a wonderful speaker. Thank you. I enjoyed your talk today, Mark. Today's topic is giving. Think of giving not as a duty, but as a privilege. Quote from John D. Rockefeller Jr. In our consuming culture, we are bombarded with advertising messages about the perfect gift or the must-have item for the holidays. The pressure to surprise and delight our loved ones sometimes leaves us feeling anxious, harried, and resenting the amount of time, money, and energy we're spending as we run from store to store to find that perfect gift. Real giving of our hearts, if not our money, should never feel like an onerous duty. We should bring a smile to a child's face. When we bring a smile to a child's face or tears of joy to the eyes of a loved one, we are reminded how fortunate we are to live and love. By giving to others, we are bestowing a gift unto ourselves. This season, I will give from my heart, recognizing what a privilege is to the touch of the lives of others. God bless and have a great week.
Thank you, Bill. Okay. So now we're going to gather up and sing our way out of here. So what do y'all think? You think this is the end of a good week or the beginning of a better one?
Well,
Both. Okay. I'm not going to try to turn this thing around.
talk about that thing.
Shay, you need to hit us on the nose.
Talk about that thing.
God
Bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairie, to the ocean wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together. Weave us together in unity. And yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, family all are we. With God, rock with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joy. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace. And yes, it began with me. So God bless you and keep you and meet again. All right. It really was. Thank everyone who participated today. Thank you, Shay, and everyone. All right. So I'm going to turn off the recording.